perhaps we might deal with?
Yes, I was going to show the headmaster later, but we could look at it now. Who knows, it might involve one of us.
We can hardly contain our indifference.
Well, this is a copy of an email that was recovered from the computer of a female student. And from the content, it appears to be written to one of the staff.
Well, let me have a look at that.
How can we tell who this email is written to?
Well, the father has tried to see who it's written to. The girl will not tell him. We may have to go to the police.
What do they have to do with it? The sixth form over the age of consent. If the email relates to sex, it would have to be a school matter.
Well, yes, you may be right. I can only say that this it really establishes the need for a code of conduct. The code would naturally ban any electronic correspondence, but we have to sort this out now. So I hope that the member of staff involved will come forward and help me with this problem.
I don't know why you're looking at me. It's nothing to do with me. I've had nothing to do with any of the students.
Worrying about any of the students. But what about that student teacher?
What student teacher?
Don't worry, Julia, it was nothing.
You've been taken in by him.
I don't know what you mean, taken in.
Well, surely you've gotten the idea by now. But you are far too good for just anything with a pulse.
Dear, I thought he had feelings for me.
Don't let him fool you. This is a man with a mission in life. And that mission happens to be to get any young, attractive female teacher into bed.
I wish you'd stop talking about me as if I wasn't here.
But you told me you loved me. You told me we were meant to be together.
Well, yes, but we haven't actually been together.
Is that all I mean to you? After all you've said? I just don't want to be in the same room with you, you snake.
So, I guess little Julia did have something to do with it. You know, she is a really sweet young woman, and you lost no time trying to add her scalp to your trophy.
Oh, I like her. We've only been to the cinema a couple of times. You didn't have to tell her.
Oh, well, perhaps we'd better get on with this meeting, or at least try to sort out this email problem. It's obviously nothing to do with Julia anyway. Perhaps someone should go and look for Wenrita, though.
Well, if you got an email, you at least know the name of the student. And surely without the police, we could find out the name of the member of the staff.
It's not that straightforward. A parent is not keen to have the name of his child broadcast to the whole school.
It wouldn't be the whole school. It would just be us. You think I'd tell the whole student body or any of us would?
Well, in this place, walls seem to have ears.
It's a one-way system. It starts at the bottom and ends with you two. It doesn't work the other way. Wouldn't you agree, Veronica?
I don't know why you singled me out. I can be trusted to keep confidence.
So what are we going to do when we find out who the recipient of these sexy emails is? Couldn't it be just a one-way thing? You know, like a student to staff member infatuation?
I suppose it depends whose member we're talking about.
I don't think so, and neither does the parent.
Well, read it to us.
I'm not so sure it's appropriate for me to read it out.
Well, how are we going to let you know what we think if you don't show us the bloody paper? Come on, let me see that.
Perhaps you should read it to us, Mike.
Thanks so much for your email. Now you know I care about you. You tell me to wait, and I will. Yes, look at my picture on Facebook. It's just for you. Have you seen the picture on Facebook?
Yes.
And?
Well, it's a picture of a young woman with very few clothes on.
Well, that limits the possibilities to about 1 in 5 million.
Oh, so who's been online and ogling all those naked teens?
Leave the boy alone.
Ah, it speaks. You've got to say for yourself.
Look, stop trying to spread the shit. and get back to your lover. And keep out of my life.
Well, I don't know what he means.
Of course you do. You promised you'd leave her, but you just used me. You bloody Judas! I can't stand any more of this. Look, you can go stick to your bloody code of conduct. First, you better decide if you can comply with it yourself.
Well, I don't think that now is the time to be discussing our personal lives. We're discussing a code of conduct. And up to now, it seems to me that we're desperately in need of one. And I'd be obliged if you would keep Wilma's outburst confidential.
You must be joking. Everyone in the school knows.
Look, perhaps I better go and round everyone up again. We should really get on, and I can't imagine what's happened to Wendrina.
She's a mad cow, so perhaps somebody shot her.
That's very unkind. She's just a bit emotional. Well, I'll go and look for everyone.
So, what shall we do until everybody gets back? We could pull a few more skeletons out of the closet. Not many left there, are there? What about you, Bill? You don't hold back when it comes to dishing the dirt out on others, do you? What have you got to say for yourself, really? What's up with you? What we'd really like to know is why you spend so much time around the boys' showers after games.
I don't know what you mean. I'm one of the games masters. It's my duty to supervise them after games. It's my job to make sure there's no horseplay in the show.
That's not what the boys think.
Does everyone in the school know everything?
Of course they do. You, Jeffrey, you are actually admired for your ability to deceive your wife with a more mature female teacher who are about the same age as the kids' mothers, who are supposed to be past the age of having sex according to their standards. And you, David, you are admired by all the boys for your ability to get every single female teacher into bed with you, except for Julia, apparently. And all the teachers in general, you know, those lady teachers, they're all looked down upon because they're so damn compliant. And you, Bill, you are despised because you hang around the boys' showers. I don't know what it does for you, but you are a laughing stock.
No, I get it. You think I'm looking at stuff on the internet. You think because I supervise the boys as I should, that I spend my time downloading porn. You're sick, a lot of you. You're obsessed with sex. You just want to make me part of it. Well, look, I've worked at this school for most of my life, and I know that I do a good job. So this is it. I want an apology, and you can stuff that code of conduct. So you work it out, Jeffrey. Get back to me when you're ready.
Looks like you touched a nerve there. But he's right. The students always get good grades, and he'd be sadly missed if he left.
Well, at least he feels the same way as we do about the code of conduct. But what about you? How do you really feel about it?
Between us, I think they've lost the plot. It's not that easy to find qualified native-speaking teachers, you know. And back home, they get paid twice as much and have much better support. A life in the sun hardly compensates anymore. Never mind not even having a life due to a code of conduct.
Well, we're probably all here for a reason. And it's not just the sunshine. What about you, David? Why are you here? Honestly.
Honestly. And I've never told anyone this, but it was a problem with a sixth-form girl in my last school. And it makes no difference now, though, because I'm not going to have anything to do with this code of conduct. I'm ready to go along with the laws in the country I'm living in, but I'm not going to go along with some trumped-up stuff made up by some employer because he thinks it's a good idea.
But they gave you a reference, and they said you were a wonderfully upright young man with an aptitude for teaching.
I do have an aptitude for teaching, and I really have kept away from the sixth form. Much to their distress, I might add. And the reference, it was part of the deal. They wanted to keep it quiet.
Well, I have to admit you've all done well, and we know that regardless of what some really blinkered parents think, that our students achieve everything that they're capable of.
If that's all, I'm going to go outside for a cigarette. If you decide to start this meeting anytime soon, you can give me a call. I'll be by the front door. Oh, and if you insist on this code of conduct, I might have to take my chances elsewhere.
By the way, David, if you think anything of Julia, you might try looking for her. I know old habits die hard, and just because you screwed someone else, no, everyone else, I think you do care about Julia, and she certainly seems to care about you, for which you should be eternally grateful.
And what's your bag? Why are you here with us? An amazingly sensible woman in a fairly mad world. I mean, you've told us what the school thinks of us. What do they think of you?
Well, they think I might be into girls. And they like that. It appeals to their sense of romance. A number of them might even have a crush on me.
Are they lesbians? Are they right about you?
No, not really, except for one or two. And yes, they are right about me.
So is this girl, the one with the emails, is she one of them?
Yes, she is. And yes, the email was addressed to me. I responded. If it had not been for her father spying on her, this wouldn't have come out, any of it. I know it was foolish of me. But sometimes in life we just do stupid things. I'm really sorry. But these are the things that define us. These are the things, let's face it, that make us human. I'm just really sorry that it has affected the whole school, and I'm sorry for everything that I said before. I'm ready to resign, and you can just sweep the whole thing under the rug.
Oh, come on. You're about the only sane one here. You've just defined that. How can I replace you? What about the girl? Can she keep her mouth shut?
I don't think there's a problem there. Her father's indignant because he thinks she has a crush on a male teacher. That's bad enough for him. But he'll be completely indignant and unable to accept the fact that his daughter is a homosexual.
Well, okay, but I'm not prepared to lie to you.
Well, it's easy. You know, as David would say, you could just say that no staff member was involved.
Well, I'm thinking about the code of conduct.
Well, there you might have a small problem. You might have to convince the owners that rather than having teachers stick to a bunch of made-up rules, that we should be allowed to be human. Because that's part of being a teacher. Being human, making mistakes. Children do not respond to automatisms.
Well, as usual, you're right. It looks like I should tell them that if they want to have a code of conduct, they'll have to do it without me, or you, or most of the English department. At least they might think twice, so come on, let's get out of here.
I've decided to resign. I'll go now if you like, or I'll stay to the end of the term. I found Julia. She's agreed to go out with me again. Well, you're right, and she's worth making the effort for. Oh, by the way, I found Veronica and Wendrina. They're stuck in the lift. Wendrina's phone with the maintenance people on her mobile.
Good, then let's get going, eh? Just before they get out, I decided to bin the code of conduct, so if you don't want to resign, you certainly don't have to. And there's a chance Julia will keep you on the straight and narrow.
Okay, well, I'll think about it.
Don't think about it for too long. Yeah, help is coming soon, girls. Help is coming. Help is coming soon. So don't think for too long about that. It's time now for some relaxation, you know. If you're going to do something about their conduct, well, first we have to keep our jobs here at the school and make sure we have some fun outside, you know. So, girls, there's help coming. So, hey, come on, let's get out of here before the help arrives. Yes. Let's implement our item number 1 of our new code. Get down to the pub after work.